Okay, so this bag is one I just completed, and I'm planning on making another one that's basically just like it for my sister. But hers is going to be different in a few different ways. And I'm going to use my dry erase board here to kind of show what I plan on doing and kind of show the kind of mental process if you're going to set yourself up to make a bag, what you need to do. So, first off, there's three sections. There's the sides, which have, in this case, the strap attached to it, and there's the back side of it, which in this case was the longest part. This is where it kind of comes up and comes around to the front, and then of course there's the front section. So in order to do this, I have to figure out like basically how wide it's going to be. Now hers, she wants one basically just like this, so I've already actually worked all that out. If you're just looking for something for, whatever, you don't care about the size, then feel free, experiment, do whatever. If you need it to be a specific size, like in this case it's to hold credit cards and ID and that kind of thing, then I suggest using the calculator on the website, because that will work out with the kind of string that you're using. If I were using a DMC floss, which is a 25 gauge, that's a lot smaller and I would need a lot more strings. In this case, I only need 36 strings to go from this side to this side, and there's 12 strings on either of these two ends, another 36 back here. Now the size is kind of different. Like this back here needs to be longer, obviously, because the back flips around to the front, than say this side needs to be. So if I'm kind of limited on the amount of string that I have, I can kind of take that into an account and try to make it so that way I can get more out of it by actually calculating exactly what I need to use. Most of the time I really overshoot it. I really make my strings very long because I would rather have waste than to get most of the way through my whole process and then run out. Because if I run out, that basically means I'm either going to have to try to forcibly add some more in or scrap the whole thing. And mind you, if you get a decent way through this and suddenly realize that you're going to scrap it, yeah, that's traumatic. That's a waste. That's no good. So that's something that I would highly suggest you just kind of work these things out. Kind of look at the length of a bracelet. What does it take for me to do this? Take into account how long you want your cord around the neck to be. And then overshoot it. Just seriously, just have more waste. I don't know. It works for me. So at this point, I'm going to break the bracelet, same as the other one, into like 3 segments in the front, and these ones are going to be the same as each other, and then these ones are all going to be just like each other. So for these two here, I've got these. This will be what I use to actually make the straps. I'm going to use 2 of each color and just, go completely, full skein on. So that way the kumi can be plenty long enough. The rest of it, I'll have plenty of string for it. This will be it. And then that's all the string I need for on the sides. Then, let's see. These will be these outer ones. So it's basically these purples and pinks that I have figured out will be just enough string to cover that. And then I have these ones here that will end up making up the middle. So now this is just the first part. This is just the planning phase. This is the kind of stuff that I work out way in advance before I even start to tie the knots. And the having the strings wound onto these bobbins, the advantage this gives me is I know that every one of these skeins is is fine. There's no little knot in the middle of it that could potentially become a problem and make my work kind of look crappy later on. So to me, that's really, really important. So having them wound up, I've had a chance to kind of look over the string. I know that I got the quality. I know that I have what I want. And I know now that all these skeins are absolutely ready to go. And then in the next phase, I'll begin cutting up the strings to their various lengths and start working on getting like the kumi for the loop, which on mine, this next one, this one's going to be, it's a smaller version. And that's going to be a whole different beast, because for that, basically there's the 12 that are going to go into it. So this is, let's wipe this off. How this one will be is I'm going to have a much smaller loop, and then it's going to come in with its design this way. And then I'm going to run an extra string down the middle of the loop that'll belong to those outside sections. Remember there was 3? One string from that will run through the inside of the kumi, and then I will attach all the strings needed for that outside of it. So it'll be a much, much smaller. This one, all 36 strings are right here in this loop. So the next one, very different, and mainly for the purpose of being able to show in a tutorial how there can be a difference, and how if you plan ahead, you can basically do this any which way you like. So that's what I'm striving to do, and you'll be able to see that soon enough. All right, until the next video. Thanks.